Hello YouTube and welcome back to W140 Restorations. On this episode, I've got a trunk lid from a 1996 R129 in white. Thanks Nick, by the way. Met a new guy in Central Florida who loves Mercedes as much as I do. And I got this used trunk lid, but it's the wrong color. Heidi is a 1996 SL500 R129 and her paint code is 040, black. So, we're going to go ahead and wash this. We're going to sand it with our 400 grit sandpaper, and then we're going to prime it, sand that again, use a base coat and a clear coat, make sure we're all protected with our mask and everything. But this is another paint video for how-to for body panels. In addition to that, I've got our rear Mercedes TriStar, our Emblem retainer little clips here, and a brand new third brake light. If you saw my YouTube short, you've seen how many clips hold that bad boy in. So we're gonna make the rear end of Heidi look fantastic and maybe have a sneak peek at the front bumper, which is wrecked. So come on and let's get to it. All right, I don't think you all need a video for how to wash a car, but I did use a degreaser, just a commercial off-the-shelf degreaser like Dawn, any sort of dish soap, to make sure you get all the wax and make sure you wash these really, really well. You want to get all the impurities off of them, because if there's anything left in the paint, it will grind into the paint when you're sanding it. So I got most everything out. There's some rub marks where this came off of a recycled R129, but we're going to go ahead and start sanding this with some 400 grit after we have washed it and made sure there's nothing, and I mean nothing, in the paint. Most people dip and skip on the prep, but with body work, you're going to get more out of the prep work than you are out of the finished product. And anything that you can see, any scratch, is going to show up 10 times once you've got it painted and cleared. So prep is the big thing. So we're going to get into that right now with our 3M 400 grit sandpaper. Nice long strokes. And you can feel the sandpaper actually start to slowly cut into the paint and into the finish. Nice and matte. That's what you're looking for. And guys, you know, I talk about safety a lot, but this stuff goes everywhere. You get on your hat, you get on your clothes. The last place you want it going is your lungs. So make sure you wear a mask while you're sanding. Alright guys, I'm going to show you that you cannot see my reflection. You can see a shadow, but you cannot see my reflection. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for what would otherwise be a matte finish on your body panel, because that is going to promote adhesion to the primer. And I'll show you in the area that I haven't done. You now see the reflection of my LED lights in my hand and me. That is what we want to get rid of, because your primer will not adhere to that. And the only reason we're sanding this is to promote adhesion. So you want it to look like that. It's hard to tell, but it is matte instead of shiny. So more to go. There's a dent, because it's super shiny right there. I didn't see that before. Just a small dent. I don't know if I can get to it or not to push it back out. It's a pinhole type of dent right there. All right, guys. Not a lot of shiny high spots. It looks pretty matted down, and we've got it wiped off with the new microfiber towel. But next, we need to use a tack rack. So we're gonna use a surgical blue super tack and tack it all down to make sure we got all the dust off every bit of it. So here it goes. Make sure we get in the crevices where dust might be hiding, because anything is going to blow around. And get in our primer and our paint and go around all the edges as well. I think we're ready to shoot some primer. All right, we're using Revive 91 007 high build gray primer because we're going to be going back over this gray with black. So hard going from white to black. Plus you want an adhesive base for your top coat to attach to. So primer's next. There's that. That is my first time using that primer, and I don't know that I'm happy with it. It looks like crap. So heavy. I was not expecting that. This is what I used last time, this Transtar 4603. I'm gonna go back to this. Not happy with this at all. Just I know it's high build, but just I did not need that, and yeah, that's on me. I'm gonna go back to this and may get 2 more of these instead of this the 2 that I have with this stuff. All right, everybody, and next steps, as you can obviously put together, is a wet sand. Got a clear water bottle with fresh water in it, and the intent is to keep it wet and just to look for high spots. All we're doing is knocking down the primer and any high spots, and you'll hear it. That's just regular sanding on the primer, and you'll hear a high spot. It'll change tone, and you'll feel it drag. Right there, high spot. Just little by little, and smooth it down. And the working surface for our base coat, which is that 040 Mercedes Black, is an 800 wet. And that's what we need to do to this to get it prepped and ready to accept the black. So more time and more prep. All right, here goes nothing. All right, everybody, I'll pull my mask back just a little bit so you guys can hear my voice. Just gonna bring you up to speed for what's been happening on the trunk lid of Heidi. We put on 1 coat of base coat, and then now I've been shaking the can. We're getting ready to put on a 2nd coat of base coat for this black Mercedes paint we're putting on the back of this R129. So let's hop back into it. I'll show you where I'm at right now. All right, that's where she's at right now. So I'm gonna shake some more cans and go ahead and put another coat on. We're gonna let it set for just a hair. We've got 24 hours before we clear it. We're gonna go ahead and clear it today, I believe. See how much time we got. We're gonna let that set for a little while and leave it. Make sure about 30-45 minutes on this. We're gonna leave it, let it sand. And then we're gonna go ahead and start shaking our clear and start clearing this. We have up to 24 hours after putting our base coat on to get it cleared. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave the W140 Restorations garage, let this set for a bit and come back, and then we're gonna start clearing it. All right, guys, it's almost been about 24 hours since the base coat was put on.
I just put the first coat of clear on. So I'm going to wait 5 minutes. The instructions are 5 minutes between coats. So I'm going to let it flash over for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to put the second coat of clear on. You can see it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty shiny. I like the way it's looking, but I got to put 2, maybe 3 coats of clear on top of this black. So we're going to wait a few minutes and then come back. We're going to give it another 5. We're going to see how it looks. And we're going to come back and decide to put a 3rd coat on. All right, looking good. All right, it's been 5 minutes since the 3rd coat went on. And it's gonna take about 25 minutes before I can open the garage and really start getting some of this air turned over in here. Until then, we're gonna keep our protective gear on and just wait for it to dry. Manufacturer's instructions are 25 minutes for it to flash over before it's dust dry. So we're gonna go ahead and stop the camera. Need to catch our breath and wait and open up the garage. So looking pretty good though. I don't see any runs at all. She looks really good, guys. I'm excited about it. No pooling. No drips. You just gotta take your time and go slow. Edges look covered. Yeah, really happy with it right now. When I get into it, we'll see if there's anything I missed or messed up. But pretty happy with the way she looks. And I will go ahead and show you all what I'm using. I'm using this 2K clear glamour, solid stuff. There is the UPC on it. I got this at my local PPG paint auto paint store. So I use this on the bumper Iona, and now we're using it on Heidi. So looking pretty good. I will vouch for the quality and how this stuff lays down. 3 coats out of 1 can for this trunk lid for this R129. So let's go ahead and give it about another 25 minutes. We'll open the garage. All
Alright guys, we got to jump forward a couple weeks, and here is our trunk lid. There's a, I hope y'all can see this on camera. I don't know what the heck that is, but that it's not bad. Maybe a 3-footer, 2-footer. That's gonna drive me nuts too. I got some orange peel I gotta deal with. But next we're gonna grab some 3M 1000 grit, 2000 grit. We're gonna wet sand this bad boy down. See how it turns out with the wet sand, and then we're gonna polish it and wax it. So let's do one final walk around. Guys, it looks really nice. It's real good. Not every bit of it is real good, but for the most part, it's looking solid. So let's make it look even better. Alright, here we go, guys. Alright guys, let's see how it looks from a fingertip smooth perspective. I kind of close my eyes and try to feel for any specific bumps or not, imperfections. Anything that your fingertips are going to show you that your eyeballs can't. Not feeling much. It's feeling pretty smooth. I'm going to move my camera and show you all that this curve. You have to be very careful when sanding on a curve. You're not going to want to go against it because you have the opportunity to take off even more clear and paint than you'd ever want to. So I can still feel the orange peel on it. You all can probably still see the orange peel on it, but this side has been knocked down. So we're going to attempt to go very long strokes across it and be very careful when we go over this arch and this apex here. So right at this inflection point, we're going to be very careful on the high mark to not cut through that as much as possible. So, all right, that's next. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but you can feel this 1000 grit sandpaper when it catches. That's when it starts to cut into that first top layer of that clear and that orange peel. And we're talking about taking down microns. This is a very slow, very steady, very calculated process of literally, if you think of it like notches, you're literally sanding down the notches. I really don't know how to describe it other than that. Like if you're looking at a mountaintop, the sandpaper is basically taking the tops of the mountains and making them smooth as could possibly be. And then when you polish it, you're gonna start filling in these, and especially with wax as well. So first you knock it down, and then you smooth it, and then you fill it. And that's what makes your paint look like a mirror when it's done. So I'm gonna pull the camera back, and we're gonna start doing the long length of the top here. I know water is not a lubricant, but if you keep your sandpaper wet, it does kind of act like a lubricant and pulls all the particles out that you're sanding down. So again, feeling with your fingers. Yeah, there's more. needs to be knocked down right here. Just gentle. There guys, brand new sheet, 3M 2000 wet dry sandpaper. And one of the reasons I went to the handheld sandpaper holder here is because if you use your fingers, you will get ridges under each of the pads of your fingers. Whether you're holding it on the pads of your hand or the tips of your fingertips, you're gonna get uneven sanding along the top of whatever you're working on if you're pushing the sandpaper in, and you can see ridges. So we're gonna keep something flat, something padded, and something that holds our sandpaper relatively tight when you're working on a finished product like this. So, let's get it wet and get back into it. Make sure it's cleaned off, and the same thing with our part. Just regular tap water. Yeah, there's the thing called too much when it comes to wet sanding. You can cut right through it, through your clear coat, right into your paint, and that's what you do not want to do. So, yeah, how good is good enough? You'll know. And I think we're right there. We're good enough. All right, let's get this cleaned off, dried up, and then we're gonna throw a wheel on it. We're gonna polish it up using some Meguiar's polish, and then we're gonna wax it as well. So, all right, let me clean it up. All right, guys, here's our handiwork. What it looks like. Oh, just smooth. Guys, it is like glass smooth. I know it doesn't look it. It looks all faded, but my goodness. All right, let's get some polish on it. Okay, not gonna show you what happened, but it was like pucker factor 10 around here as my rigid stands said bye-bye to the trunk lid, and gravity's undefeated, by the way. I caught it, but we are quickly gonna pivot to the back of our new project car and show you all what this paint is gonna look like. It is coming out fantastic. So I'm going to start again, and we're going to start polishing down what's left on the hood of Heidi. So let me move my camera and grab my polishing machine and get back to it. Again, close call. Very glad I caught it. I was pushing way too hard. So let's try this again. Yeah, guys, I'm not gonna lie, that, God bless America, that looks fantastic. Let me show you. I mean, it is. You see where I haven't gotten it, right? Original sanding marks. But look. I mean, look how clear that is. All right, keep going. Oh my gosh. Love it. Love it. All right, guys, we have polished this 3 times over now with our random orbit polisher, dual action from Harbor Freight. It's one that I picked up and liked, and it is mirror smooth. I mean, it's ridiculously smooth, and you guys can probably count the hairs on my head. It's that mirror polish. So it looks great, and we're talking like from a foot, 2 feet. There are a few blemishes, but man, if you're going to be this close to the car, you know, so be it. Nice, look at that. All right, brand new microfiber towel, and not too shabby, guys. I kind of a perfectionist. This is pretty good. Not too shabby. Yeah, you can see how it's even more defined now with the wax on there. All right. She's no Riddler winner, but if I can shoot this paint in my garage, then every one of you watching can also do the same thing and shoot paint wherever you are and work on restoring one of your own cars. So let's put the finishing touches on this and go grab some stuff. Okay, here's our rear Mercedes emblem. I was able to save this one. It's got the 3 push pins, and the emblem retainer part number is 201-997-2281. I will verify that, and if that's the wrong part number, then I'll put it down in the comment or the the information on the channel. But I'm pretty sure 201-997-2281. 3 of them, and they just push in. And then what's really going to set it off is this, our rear third brake light, part number 129-820-1356. So excited about getting that in as well, and see what it looks like when we open this new old stock. Look at that new old stock Mercedes box. So let's start with the push pins. Like I said, there's 3 of them. Literally pushing in by hand. One. 2. That's hilarious. I cracked myself up. And 3. The answer is 3. They just push in. And then our Mercedes symbol correspondingly is the same thing. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. All right. Here. Yeah, look at that. Original Mercedes Benz. Third brake light for one of these 129s. Oh, look at that. Nice. Look at all those little LEDs. And then all these little screws set behind these corresponding holes in there. And we're gonna set our towel down so we don't scratch our new paint. You guys check it out. That is super shiny and super beautiful. This is our cover. It corresponds, it goes on there. Oh, it's gonna look so great. So let's take these little screws out and go ahead and get it installed. I don't know why the rubber band's there. That's, anybody knows why the rubber band's there, shoot me a comment. We're gonna lose the rubber band, keep the itty bitty screws, and then put this on from the inside. And I can't wait to see what it looks like when all this is put back together. Took her out for a spin the other day. She runs like a scalded dog. She runs great. Excited about getting her all back together. All right. All right, guys, off camera. Took it out of the box, unpackaged it, and those up here to be 24 itty bitty little German LEDs. If you recall, the one that came off of Heidi was old school with bulbs, so if this indeed is the same part number with upgraded lights, I'm gonna be so stinking excited. So let's go ahead and put this from the inside, screw it on, and then this goes from the outside. So yeah, just wanted to show you LEDs. Ah, it's gonna look fantastic. Oh yeah, and 3 very, very small Phillips screws. And guys, when I mean small, I mean like itty bitty small. Like Phillips 0? I don't know, itty bitty. Alright, and there's one. Number 2 and number 3. This is a tapered end on it, and it snaps right in these 6 recesses. There's 3, then a double in the middle. There we go. Alright. Oh, that looks good. Alright. Alright. How about we get this on the trunk of Heidi. See how she looks. Alright, everybody. Heidi looks a little bit, I don't know, naked, for lack of better terms. Not having the rear trunk lid off. Really easy. 2 bolts on either side. They are 10 mil, of course, but I wanted to show you all this little notch here. This notch catches the rear trunk lid, so slides on and down, and then the 2 bolts on either side. So when I put it back on, we're going to catch this notch here and this notch here when we go ahead and set our brand new trunk lid on. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the tripod and show you how we're going to put it on. Alright guys, here we go. Real carefully, we're going to set that notch right there. That's the first one, and then the second one, and that's going to hold it in place. And we're going to take our factory 10 mil, and we're going to put them in and not tighten them down. We're just going to put them as a holding place so we can align this so it closes correctly. We're going to use the original paint marks that are on here to line it up initially with the original paint marks that are on this hinge. I'm going to get a boxing wrench to tighten these up. I don't want to tighten them up with any tools other than hand tools. Okay, I'm gonna let loose, do the driver's side, and then come right back and do the passenger side again. Okay guys, here goes a little bit of nothing. Let's see, she's gonna... Nice. I'm not closing her all the way. What I'm doing is I'm looking for the gap. It looks pretty parallel on this side. Pretty parallel on this side. And don't loosen it and have it seat down. Yeah, on both sides. Oh man. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Gaps look pretty good. Look at that reflection. Yeah. God, that looks good. All right. Let me think. What's next? Well, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of W140 Restorations. I will apologize for it being a little bit later than usual. Couple of hurricanes, couple of recoveries from hurricane, and a little bit of ill, and a lot of work brings us to a very late episode. But I just want to say thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the love the channel's gotten. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And I got another episode coming out very soon regarding Project Heidi. So thanks everybody. Take care. See you soon.